My name is Michael, and I'm Lois's son. I am Zora's great great nephew. My grandfather was George Hubbard Hurston, and that was Zora's nephew. He was the son of Zora's oldest brother, Dr. Hezekiah Robert, who was affectionately referred to as Bob.
Hi, everyone. My name's Harold. I'm Lois's son, and I am one of Aunt Zora's great great nephews. My grandfather, George Hubbard Hurston, was Zora's nephew. He was the son of Zora's oldest brother, Dr. Hezekiah Robert. I think because her books, if you read her books, they're really about human nature. And it even applies today. They're just really well written. You kind of lose yourself in what she's talking about, and it kind of they all kind of teach you something about human nature and how people are. And so I think that even today that still fits. It still works.
Okay.
And I think it'll always work.
My name is Vicky. I am related to Aunt Zora through my father, Edgar Hurston Sr., who is the son of Dr. Hezekiah Robert Hurston, who is Zora's oldest brother. I can't say specifically that I found out at age 12 or age 14. I know I was young. And so back then, not really knowing who Zora was, okay, Zora Neale Hurston related to Zora. Okay. But as you get older and you realize, oh, this is a great book, or these books are great. And then you begin to develop more pride and more interest and more enthusiasm. And so to know that I'm related to a famous author, it's awesome, really. I mean, people don't know that I'm related to Zora, but I know. So it's more of an inner thing. And like, for instance, not that this is important, but like when I read her book, how many times have I read The Eyes Were Watching God? And I know what's going to happen, but it's a tearjerker every time. I cry every time I get to that part of the book. So that shows you what a writer she was. Because if you can get your audience to emotionally react to what you're writing, you're there.
I'm India. Vicky is my mother. Edgar Hurston Sr. is my grandfather. He is the son of Dr. Hezekiah Robert Hurston, Aunt Zora's oldest brother. I don't remember exactly how old I was, but I was a little girl. It feels like something I've always known. So I was a little girl, very proud and impressed. And it's like, wow, I'm related to a famous author. It's always been something that's been a source of pride for me. When I was in fifth grade, we had to dress up as a famous person. So of course, being a Hurston, my mom was like, okay, you're going to be an anthropologist. You're going to dress up like Zora Neale Hurston. So she had me in the sweater, the hat, like everything. I was Zora for that day. And I got to explain to my classmates, because in fifth grade, back in the 80s, a lot of kids didn't know about it. So I got to explain to my classmates who Zora was, how I was related to her, and it was a really nice experience.
All right, well, I'm James. My mom is Vicky. Her father is Edgar Hurston Sr. His father is Dr. Hezekiah Robert Hurston, which is Zora's oldest brother. So this is my son, Jeremiah, and he is Zora's great, great, great nephew. Well, I think it's an honor to be related to somebody that's famous, and their work still to this day resounds to a lot of people. So I think it's also, it's pretty cool that people are still talking about Zora. Her books still sell. People are still interested in her and still try to find out information about her. So I think it's also pretty cool. I was younger. So, I mean, when you're young, you don't really fully grasp the concept of having a famous relative. So, I mean, I guess I thought it was exciting at the time. But, as you get older, you understand better, okay, this is my relative, famous person, and the work that she did.
So my name is Tammy. My mother is Karen Hurston. She is the daughter of Edgar Hurston, who is the son of Dr. Hezekiah Robert Hurston.
Hi, my name is Lindsay. I am the daughter of Tammy, who's the daughter of Karen Hurston, who's the daughter of Edgar Hurston, who is the son of Dr. Hezekiah Roberts, who is Aunt Zora's oldest brother. So I always knew about Aunt Zora. My mom kept her photos and her books in the house, and she always let me know that we had an author in the family, and she just let me know how much of an inspiration she was to our family and to the Black community. I love that when she told our stories, she told them about our desires and our passions and our dreams as Black women, our lives, what we wanted, and not just centered around like racism and those type of experiences. She let us exist outside of that. That really inspired me when I first started getting into her work. So I listened to an Audible of Muse and Men, which was, it was like the best thing I could do. And it taught me so much. I didn't know that we had those kinds of stories about explanations like why we are the way we are, the differences between like men and women and angels and just all of these things that I've just never heard explained by us. So it was just timeless, something that I can just put on and like listen to. So that was really amazing to me.
I am Michael Potts, Michael Birch Potts. I am the son of my dad, Michael Potts Sr., who is the son of Lois Hurston. And Lois Hurston is the daughter of George Hubert Hurston. And then George Hubert Hurston was the son of Dr. Hezekiah Robert, and that's Zora's oldest brother.
Do I know my lineage? Yes, going approximately back to Zora. My father is Michael Potts. Michael Potts's mother would be Lois Hurston. Lois Hurston's father would be George Hubert Hurston. And then George Hubert Hurston's father would be Dr. Hezekiah Hurston, who is the brother of Zora. What does it mean to know that I am related to Zora? I think it's a really good question. And I think, for one, I've always had a sense of pride in it. I can say, like, within my family, there's this great artistic and literary beauty that's just grown and grown, and people appreciate it. And that's something I think, makes me proud of everyone in our family. And I think another cool thing about it is her success has like filtered down and created a lot of creatives in our family, people who are professors at universities, myself, I'm a lawyer and stuff. And we all, I think, go back to that being centered in like the love of learning, the love of like challenging established norms and boundaries, and just celebrating like intellect, I think, for what it is a beautiful thing.